Are you ready for our summer tie-dye? We're going to be using stencils for a new look. Let's get started. Okay, the first step is to get on some gloves. You're going to go ahead and pick a shirt that's the right size and a stencil that you like. You're also going to get the colors that you would like. I'm using Tulip brands, and I do want to experiment with a shirt that's already a different color, so we're gonna see what happens. Okay, and in the past when I did stencils, I've used a spray bottle, and you could just go ahead and mix your dye in there, and that does work really well. I was thinking, for a little bit more control so I don't get splatters, I'm gonna try and use some sponges today, and we're gonna see how that goes. Alrighty, so now I'm gonna go ahead and clear my space, and I'm gonna fill these with water. And I did put something in between the two layers just so that it doesn't bleed through. That's optional, of course. Okay, and I got a sponge. So I have a darker pink color, and so I'm going to do that now. Alright, you'll have to see this more so at the end, but oh my gosh, the blending is just beautiful. Okay. Alright. Oh, I like that. Alright, I'm just going to do some splotches around here just to kind of help it blend a little. Okay, I know it doesn't look like a butterfly yet, but I do believe it is going to work. So, what we're going to do next is I would like to turn it into a spiral on the background. So I'm going to go ahead and do what I normally do when I do a spiral. I'm going to pinch where I want the spiral to start and just start twisting. So here we go. Now the thing here is with the butterfly, I want things to blend nicely, so I'm going to use a lighter color to go directly around the butterfly, I think. Okay, so what I'm going to do is kind of split this up into sections for my spiral. And I mean, you could split it up into more sections too if you like, but I'm going to start off with this light purple. And I don't mind getting the light purple on the butterfly because I think it'll just blend. I'm not going to do too much on the butterfly, but a little bit. And when you finish the whole front, you're going to turn it over and do the same color on the back. You can see the spiral nicer on the side. That's cool. Okay, after you've dyed all sections the way you would like, we're going to go ahead and stick it into a bag. And we're going to let it sit there for 6 to 8 hours. A lot of times I just like to leave it overnight, as long as you leave it sit for no longer than 24 hours. They say at least 6 to 8 hours. Okay, so for this one I've picked a yellow shirt. I went and put my ice cream cone here, and I like the idea that it's dripping. I thought it'd be neat to make it look like more drips or just kind of funky. So I'm going to try using the spray bottle on this one. I have like a pinkish orange dye in there, and I want to make that the ice cream. I'm keeping in mind that the yellow shirt is going to blend with whatever color I put in there. Okay, so for the cone, I'm going to try a little color theory to see if I could get this to work. So yellow and purple make brown. I'm going to try that. So I'm going to start off by dabbing this part, and then we'll get to the spraying. So something to think about is you might consider using a little bit of tape to hold down your stencil. I'm not sure if it's making it better or worse, but... and then the next thing to think about is if you're using a spray bottle, it's really important to consider what's around your working space. I have accidentally sprayed my computer before, so just keep in mind. It could get messy. So I'm going to do a little spritz. We're going to try it out. Ooh, this is looking neat. I love it. Check that out. So I'm going to get closer just to saturate that part first. And then I'm going to make bigger sprays around the area too. You're going to need some paper towels to dab your stencil before you move it. After that, I am going to add some extra sprays to the shirt. and blend the edges here, okay, so that it doesn't look like such a stark contrast. I'm pressing very lightly. Okay, and when you press very lightly, regular drips just come out instead of whole big sprays. So I'm going to add something that looks like it's continuing to drip down the shirt. Again, this is up to you how you would like to do it. Okay, so we're going to take this off. So I'm going to do is just start adding extra drips and sprays so that it doesn't look like a square. So that's what I have so far. We'll see. See, it's like dripping. We'll see how it turns out. If I were to pinch it, this might be overkill, but I am going to do I'm going to try a bullseye. So if you pinch it and just pull, we're going to put a rubber band on where the end of the cone is. So you don't want any dye where the cone is, okay? And then, I know, I'm doing multiple things. It's an experiment to see if it works out or not. Okay, it may not, we'll see. But we're not going to have any dye right there. Then we're going to keep going to make little sections. Okay, I'm ready for things to get funky. This is where we do not want to put any new dye, okay? And then this goes on to the end of the shirt. I have done some cool bullseye stuff before. That's how I made my sun and moon tie-dyes. And I think it would be neat to have kind of like a little gradient effect. So I have lighter to darker, and I'm going to just go ahead and mess with that. Okay, here we go. Alright, now, because this is such a weird size, it's not going to fit into a regular bag, so I'm going to just put it into like a grocery shopping bag, a plastic bag, and we're going to let that sit for 6 to 8 hours as well. Alrighty, it's been washed, it's been dried, and now it's time for the big reveal. So the first one is our butterfly tie-dye. Okay, ready? Here we go. Check it out. I love it. I love all the bright colors, and you can see the cool butterfly right in the center there. I think that turned out pretty good. All right, let's check out the back. And the back is pretty cool too. So for our second one, what do you think about that one? I think it looks funky, but can we tell it's an ice cream cone? I think so. It's possible that adding a little bit of fabric marker to this can really make it stand out. So I'm going to show you that option as well. Alrighty, here is the close-up detail. I decided to add some words, so it says Sweet Summer. To support this channel, click like, hit subscribe, and click the bell to get all notifications. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.